Hey, I'm back, and today I want to talk about panning and using depth. Of course, panning means moving something to the left or right in a sound field, and I'm sure all of you know about that, but I want to talk about moving things back and forth. So, let's get into it. I'm going to try not to be a chatty patty and get straight into how to do things. Let's check out this first example of the guitar here. Okay, that sounded alright, but it sounded a little bit close. I want it to sound a little bit farther back. So one of the things we can use is this plugin called Panagement. And so this will take care of the left and right for us. You see it has a nice visual display here. And then we can use this to move it back and forth. The only problem with this is that it lowers the volume. So anything we do here, like let's say it's negative 12.58, I need to compensate for it over here. Not exact, but close enough. Also, this doesn't add any kind of early reflections or reverb, so let's add one here. I'll use TrueVerb. Last year, Waves was giving this out for free, so hopefully some of you have it. I'll switch to Studio A. I'll move this back so the distance is close, and let's listen to it now. Obviously, that's way too much. It shouldn't be that far back. That sounds like it's almost in another room. So we can move it up a little bit here. Go with Panagement. Move that to like 10 or something. There we go. Let's try it one more time. That's better, but it's still a little bit too far back for my taste. Really, if I was, using this as a song, I probably would go even closer than that. But I think this gives you an idea of what it does. It does sound farther back. If you just use a reverb, you don't really get this because the Panagement, what it does is it takes some of the high end off, and that helps it blend in. If you want to know more, check out what is it? Sound localization on Wikipedia. Just look that up, and it has a bunch of information. Where is it? There's lots of things, especially this part. Distance of sound source. All this stuff will basically, that's what you need to know. So check that out yourself. Next part, I'm going to show you with a different instrument. So instead of using that, I will use something a little bit different. Actually, I'll show you this first. I use the FX Chain preset. So, like moving all those different parameters is kind of a pain. It's annoying. So with this in Sonar, basically it allows me to move a bunch of different parameters at one time. So if I go back to Large Studio A, if you see when I move the depth, oh wow, see, that moves. But also, not only does the TrueVerb move, my Panagement also moves. See, both move at once. That's great. And as I move this, Panagement moves left and right. So that's great. Let's hear how this sounds. This is a French horn sound. Okay, I'll leave it there, and this time I'll kind of switch it in and out. I know some people complain that it's not level matched, but I think you can... Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry about that. You can hear it's not quite level matched, but you can really hear the difference. I think you can understand, what's going on. Another one I have, if you don't have True Verb, another one I really like is Valhalla Room. So, let me open this up here. So this time I used Valhalla Room. Should I do studio? I'll do large wood music room. That's good. So, and this one I have set up the same way. And so if you're wondering, like, how do I set this up if I don't have True Verb? What does that distance do? Basically, what it does is, if you want something to sound farther away, check out this mix. As you move away, the mix between dry and wet, or wet and dry, increases. So you should have more of the wet level, less of the dry level. Also, as you move farther away, the early reflections to late reflections ratio decreases. So it should be more late reflections and less early reflections the farther away you go. Also, the pre-delay should decrease the farther away you are. Closer sound should have a longer pre-delay, like 15 milliseconds, 30 milliseconds, 40 milliseconds, and things that are far away from you should have like 0 milliseconds or 2 milliseconds of pre-delay. But unfortunately, I can't do that in Sonar with this, so I kind of have to do it by hand. But let me check this out. Let's say if I want something to sound far away, like I'm going to do this drum loop in a second. So I set the pre-delay at 0, mix at 40%, and depth at 75%, which means it's going to be mostly late reflections. So I'll let you hear it dry before you hear it wet, so you can just hear how this drums sound. Okay, there you go. Now you can hear it with this room on here. Okay, so you can hear it sounds really roomy. It sounds almost exactly like room mics. It sounds like there's maybe too much room. You can barely hear definition in your drums. So you can obviously turn that down if you want less depth. But actually, I'll let you hear it one more time, and I'll go in and out. Here we go. So, there you go. So that's the effect basically, and like I said, if you feel like, that's too much, I don't want all that on my drums, or like I don't want all that on my guitar, a cool trick you can do is, let's say here, I have track 1. So I'm going to use a send, so I send it to aux track I have here. This aux track is going to become my room mic for my guitar basically, so there you go. So that's the effect, and that's one way you can use it. I know Steve Vai uses this exact same technique. Not in here. He actually has a nice room he uses. So he takes a bunch of close mics on his amp, and then he uses 2 room mics. But, of course, he has a nice room he can use. I don't, and I imagine most of you don't have some nice room with, 20-foot tall ceilings or whatever. So this is a good alternative, and you can use it for drums, you can use it for orchestral instruments, you can use it for guitars or whatever. If you like this, send me some feedback, and also subscribe. Hopefully this helps you out. Also, if you liked it, share it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please remember to thumbs it up, check out some of my other videos below, and don't forget, subscribe. Thanks. Bye.